In fact, we have 2 solar installation businesses that I'm aware of in Lebanon County. E&E Metal Fab, as well as energy systems and installation at the former Kleinfelter building in Jonestown. Further, as part of our national security, we can reduce our dependence on foreign energy, which in my opinion is certainly a worthy goal. So I see solar and wind farms for our future, which brings me back to one of my top priorities, to see more farms are preserved. With a vision for the future, farming can remain a lifestyle and a successful business in the 48th District. According to a Lebanon Daily News article that ran many years ago, agriculture remains the heaviest hitter in Pennsylvania's economic arsenal. Government officials are looking to build the Commonwealth into a technological occupation leader, but there will still be a great need for what our farmers provide, regardless of what else we as Pennsylvanians do to earn our living. To bring this point home, I'd like to tell you a little story, and there's some statistics with it, but please bear with me to the end. While one could do the same for pigs and cows and milk and corn and any other commodity, I'd like to focus on eggs this morning. Have you seen all of those large poultry houses across our county? Now, Jeff has one that's turkeys, but I'm talking about simply the chickens that lay the eggs. I heard Glenn Siddell explain that. Well, let me ask you, how many eggs do you think the average person eats in a year? Anybody have a guess? The statistic is 272. So, a chicken house traditionally holds about 120,000 chickens. And about 70% of those chickens will lay an egg on any given day. That could equate to about 84,000 eggs per day, or 30,660,000 eggs a year. Imagine that just one chicken house in Lebanon County can come pretty close to supplying all of the eggs that are needed for Lebanon County residents. Now, what I did was find out how many eggs are produced in Lebanon County and divide that by the average egg population produced at one house. And what I found out is that we have about 19 houses that with layer chickens in, that lay eggs. And I did a little chart. Basically, these eggs those 19 houses will bring money back to Lebanon County. 18 of them will, but one will supply Lebanon County. Some of those eggs will be for people to eat, 17.5% to incubate for more chickens, and 1 egg for every flu vaccine. Now, we've all heard about the pandemic flu and all the different kinds of flus that we need. Those vaccines are made with eggs. Did you know that in egg production, Lebanon County is 5th in the state and 57th in the nation out of 3,024 counties? That means that we talked about that chicken house. One chicken house will bring $4 million into the economy. Again, that means 18 of those chicken houses sell their eggs and bring that money back to Lebanon County. So if you take $4 million times the number of chicken houses, you're going to find that that economic engine translates into $116,095,700 annually. I thought that was extremely impressive. Now you take this and do it for the beef and the pigs and everything else, and you're going to find that agriculture isn't just a nice thing to do because we all respect the farmers, but it's also important to our local economy. Between the military with the VA Medical Center and Fort Indian Town Gap and farming, those are our biggest industries in this district. So at this point, what I'd like to do is ask you to join me in a milk toast to all of our farmers, no matter what they're growing. And if you would like to grab a little milk, I have both vanilla and chocolate, so to speak. Help yourself and whichever kind you like. By the way, I want to stop over pause anyhow and introduce you to my daughter, Laurie, my mother-in-law, Ruth, and my campaign manager, Jeff. I think it's wonderful that they were all able to join me. Of course, some of us have to work, but what a wonderful group that's here today. Let's raise our glasses and say thank you to the farming that goes on in our community, and to the farmers who make sure that we have food to eat and that we retain our quality of life in Lebanon County. To all our farmers, cheers. Cheers. Now, probably we can all do one of those milk commercials, but we haven't. In closing, we need the best executive partnership we can get in the Senate. And I'm passionate about causes that are important to me and turn obstacles into opportunities. Anyone who is asking for the trust and confidence of the voters ought to believe that he or she has a real contribution to offer and genuine leadership. There's no room to play games or for partisan bickering. Our charge is to serve the people of this district. I look forward to the opportunity to find long-term solutions to the challenges we may face. I will continue to do the people's business by working for realistic solutions to any problems that we may face. Please elect me as your next senator. Do what is right as long as you can, delegate as much as you can, and be as wise as you know how. Thomas Jefferson. God bless you all.
I would ask first off how you will be able to manage your duties as commissioner with campaigning in a large district. Can you talk about that?
Sure. As a commissioner, I do my duty all day, every day. I have to go to Harrisburg for meetings. I have to go all over the place, Lancaster, etc., depending on what the meeting is. A lot of my liaison assignments are not in the courthouse. They are out on the street with the people. And just being visible is campaigning. Of course, as much time as I put into being a commissioner, you can find me on the internet at 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I work around the clock, actually. So, yes, I will have to take some time away from that to campaign. But I plan on being at a commissioner's meeting. Now, granted, I go to Harrisburg to the State Farmland Preservation Board meeting. So those meetings I will be in Harrisburg. But the rest of the meetings, I think you'll find that my attendance record is very good.
Senator Fulmer, who's in that seat now, has campaigned on government reform and lower taxes and things like that. He's also behind the bill that would call for a constitutional convention, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are about that.
I say this as humbly as I can because I think that people do really know when something is right and when something is wrong. But quite respectfully, I think that we need to enforce the Constitution we have first. I don't think we can be selective and not pass a budget on time. That's in the Constitution. How can we trust elected officials to hold a constitutional convention if they aren't following the Constitution we currently have in place?
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. The gubernatorial the issue of campaign finance reform in Pennsylvania came up, and pretty much all the Democratic candidates support Lebanon campaign contributions in Pennsylvania. What is your position on that?
Well, considering I don't get large contributions, it's really easy for me to say I have no problem with it. I tend to get average people, like all of us, who make contributions to my campaign. So, I certainly think there's nothing wrong with campaign limitations.
Another issue that's also seeming to get a little bit of traction and has the support of Representative Swanger is making the legislature part-time. I'm wondering if you have a view on that.
Well, again, whenever I do something, I give 100%, and you'll find that no matter what the hours are set, I will give round the clock on-call service. But I did think a lot about that, and I think that would, eliminating legislators or making them part-time.
Our next senator.
Well, again, I think if you look back over the last couple of years, you'll find that I was at the Capitol lobbying on the steps in front of the Capitol because they wanted to close our state parks. That hits home with me. We don't even have Swicara State Park developed, and they want to close state parks. What about the promises made to people? I would be in there fighting. when it came to agricultural preservation and our conservation districts, trying to, I mean, really, they're trying to eliminate them by cutting the funding, let's face it. I'm in there fighting for people. I don't always win, but when an idea is good, it stands the test of time. And I'm a fighter. I'll be in there working